Hello there, good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to Spotlight. Today is February 16th, 2026. And of course, it is a beautiful evening, on Monday evening. Now, talking of today as well, so there's actually, from my point here in the studio, there's a fireworks display across Lusaka. And of course, we're getting the bangs and the pops and the excitement, and of course, are coming from the Chinese, counterparts. And of course, talking of that, today happens to be the year of the firehouse. Okay, so China or Chinese people are celebrating the New Year, and of course, it falls on the February 17th, 2026, and of course, it is Chinese New Year, marking the beginning of a new year on the traditional Chinese calendar. President Hakainde Hichilema also a day ago did take it to social media and of course congratulating and wishing the people of China well, and of course he posted on social media saying Happy Chinese New Year to President Xi Jinping and all citizens of the People's Republic of China as we welcome the year of the firehouse. We celebrate not only a new lunar cycle but also the enduring friendship between our two nations. Our partnership continues to grow in strength, cooperation, and shared ambition, from infrastructure and trade to cultural exchange, as well as people-to-people ties. So he also continues to say that may this new year bring renewed energy, prosperity, and progress for both our nations, particularly within our comprehensive strategic and cooperative partnership. That's President Hakainde Hichilema there signed. And of course, that's a statement that he did post a fortnight ago on his social media platform. Now, as we get to look at an interesting topic of discussion this evening, remember this is an interactive program. And of course, you'll be given a chance to call in or leave us a text on Facebook at Crown TV Zambia, as well as drop an SMS on the number that is on your screen. Tonight, we are looking at one of the critical topic of discussion, which is ZRP, PF for Tonse, and also the road to August 13th. Now, my name is Alfred Chimba, and I'm your host as we get to dissect the state of the Zambian opposition. We're exactly a month away from the 2026 general election, and yet the largest opposition bloc remains a house divided. The Patriot Front is split, the Tonse Alliance is fragmented, and the Electoral Commission of Zambia has just dropped a bombshell: register your alliance as a legal entity or lose your place on the ballot. Tonight we ask, is this a genuine alternative to the UPND or a desperate survival pact? Joining me is a man at the center of the Luminda-led faction and the president of the Zambia Republican Party, that's Mr. Wright Musoma. Allow me to welcome Mr. Musoma this evening. Mr. Musoma, good evening, and thank you so much for making it to Spotlight.
Good evening, Alfred, and good evening, our viewers out there. Thank you so very much to have me here.
Indeed. Let's look at the Tonse identity crisis, Mr. Musoma. Of course, you are a member of the Tonse Alliance under Given Luwinda, but a quick look at it is that Peter Chanda of the NCP says your team must stop fighting for Tonse because Dr. ZUMANI was the architect and you are effectively trespassing on his concept. What is your take on this?
It's very, I'm really surprised. And at the same time, I'm not surprised that Peter Chanda could say things like that.
He is your comrade, I believe so.
Well, we have a lot to, I would say yes and no, okay? Yes, in the sense that he is also a politician. But when you say he's my comrade, obviously we must be sharing a lot of stuff, which we don't, okay? I'm not like Chanda, okay? I think you know, just over the past few days, he has made a lot of maneuvers. I don't do things like that. So if you are referring to that, then I'm sorry, I can't say he's my comrade because I am not like that, and I'll never be like that. Musoma is one person who is very consistent and very transparent and honest. Yeah. Now, coming to his statement, I think that is a very unfortunate statement coming from one Chanda. You see, ZUMANI, okay, is not an architecture of Tonse. That's total lie. Okay, that's a lie. We started Tonse, and we went to the late president.
When you say we, who is we?
Basically myself, Peter Chanda inclusive, Sondo, Professor Dan Pule, and other people. I led that team. We are the people, after going through what we went through in Uka, who demanded that no, we should move out. Okay? We pressed it upon the late president to move out, because we know that it was being disrespected. And the people who were leading Uka, they were not honest. Okay? They were not honest. They had the hidden agenda and ambitions. So when we saw through their schemes and maneuvers, we were like, no, I don't think we should stay here. Because we realized that continuing in Uka, we were going to lose our names and our credibility, especially the late president. And that's how we went to him, okay, and asked him if we could do that. Of course, he was very, very adamant. He gave a lot of reasons. He didn't want to seem like yes, he agreed with us that he was being disrespected. Yes, he also agreed with us that the people who were at the summit of Uka, they were very mischievous, and they had hidden agendas. Okay? But then the problem was, if he just moved out, he didn't know how the Zambian people would receive it. So that's where the problem was. But we were like, look, I think it's more dangerous and damaging on your part especially to remain in Uka. Because, you know, he had reached a place where he could be insulted by people like Sean Tembo, Savoy Mboela, the likes of Sikazwe, and even people like Kateka. You can imagine that kind of scenario, okay? So that's how we pressed on him that we need to move. If it means us coming up with another alternative, be it, okay? And at last, that's when he said, okay, that's okay, let's do that. But and that's how when he called ZUMANI to say, please, I want you to help these people to come up with a template with which they can begin with. Do you know the reason why the late president did that? Because if he asked me to do that, obviously, my friends were going to, you know how politics are in Zambia, we're going to probably have some problems. So he wanted a neutral person. ZUMANI is not a member of PF, and he was not working for ECL. He was just going there for survival, for goodness sake, okay? And that's why I asked him. And he was not the only one. There was also Council Angola.
When you say survival, what context are you basing that statement?
Basically for political and everything, okay? For political survival, because he had no base. He was nowhere. He had no political party, not even an organization. So he had nowhere. So the only way out was to be close to the late president.
But he was his former political advisor.
His job as a former political advisor ended when he made him lose the elections. Okay? In fact, after losing the elections, ZUMANI went to UPND. He only came back when UPND disappointed him by locking him up for a longer period. That's when he came back, okay, to ECL. So, that aside, so that's how Tonse started. So to say ZUMANI owns the Tonse, and Chanda, what has Chanda been saying all along? You know, I don't think Chanda all along has been that has been Chanda's position. No. So when Chanda began to shift like this, it makes me worry and think a lot. Why is he doing this? First he withdrew from Tonse, and the other time he tried to contest against Tonse and the PF, the legitimate leadership of PF. The other time he was saying bad about people, never said or did anything as a way to hide his mischievousness. So Chand, I think, is not the right person people should listen to, just like ZUMANI himself.
Talking of Dr. Chris ZUMANI Zimba, from what we're getting, he was here, actually, we featured him yesterday here on Crown TV, and he told us that from his part, okay, he helped in the formulation of the constitution for the Tonse Alliance, and of course brought out another aspect where he says Honorable Sean Tembo was actually the person behind the design of the logo for Tonse Alliance. Now, as you as President Musoma, what role did you play in the formation of Tonse as an alliance?
I think I've explained. We are the people, okay? I mean, need I mention that I was very, very close to Edgar Lungu. I worked with Edgar Lungu much longer than ZUMANI. Need I mention that? Who doesn't know in this country? I always moved with Lungu. I always ate with Lungu.
Do you think that is very important now?
No. Hear me. I've never said that. Okay? But I'm saying this so that to remind people, ZUMANI has been singing about that through and through. Okay? I've never said that. Even when they started, when all this thing was all over social media, in traditional media houses such as yours, you never heard me. Even all these times that you have been interviewing me, you have never heard me saying this. But why am I saying it now? I want to remind people
that you were close to President.
Correct. And I helped form Tonse. We are the people who helped form Tonse. You interview President Sinkamba, Peter Sinkamba of the Green Party. He will tell you that I'm not lying. He came also joined on board. In fact, at one point, we even contemplated on using the People's Party of. At that time, ZUMANI was not in the picture. You understand? He was not in the picture. So the only role that ZUMANI played was that of helping to come up with a template, not a constitution.
A template?
Yes, with which to begin with. You understand? And he went overboard, as usual. And together with Sean Tembo, they started putting things that were not in that constitution.
Like which
First, they created himself, we created without our knowledge. He went and added the position of, what is this? Which was calling what is the position he was? A lot of things. First, he appointed Sean Tembo as the ad hoc committee chairperson, and he appointed other people under him. They connived to do that. They were not supposed to do that, because from the word go, when Lungu succumbed and agreed that we should form Tonse, what was the instruction? ZUMANI, come up with a template and make sure that you give that template to Nakachinda, to take to PF Central Committee. If PF Central Committee okays it, then you can bring it back to these honorable members of Tonse, who happens to be me, Peter Chanda himself, Sondo, Exilda Mwenya, Professor Dan Pule, and others. Okay? And including Peter Sinkamba. Peter Sinkamba even proposed that we use the People's Pact. We said no, because this pact was already registered. So we don't want to have the problems that we went through in Uka, where people were using, claiming ownership and try to use it against other people who meant well. You know, that's how purely we abandoned the use of People's Pact. So ZUMANI's role started and ended at just coming up with a template, but he insisted, and he started messing up. Okay? Yes. So And you saw that over the time, we were forced, okay, to petition President Edgar Lungu when he was even ailing to give a position. And he gave a position against ZUMANI and Sean Tembo's machinations, where he said, please, the acting Tonse chairperson is President Given Rubinda. And when he goes to people like Freddie Membe, UNIP, and other stakeholders, do not view it like he's trying to sell the party. He cannot sell the party as you are putting it.
But are you agreeing that ZUMANI was appointed as a Tonse consultant to spearhead its formation?
By who?
You tell us, because you belong to the Tonse.
But this is what I'm telling you. No one appointed ZUMANI. He was appointing himself. He gave himself a lot of positions. He kept on changing. The other time
now he's Secretary General?
Yes, now he's Secretary General. Amazingly. Okay? Or surprisingly. First, he gave himself, he wanted the position of national coordinator. But when we looked at the roles of the national coordinator, they were exactly the same roles of the Secretary General. Because when we started Tonse, we were very, very clear. We said PF would be the anchor party. And the PF president will automatically be a chairperson of Tonse and consequently the presidential candidate for Tonse.
At this point, it's not NCP, because NCP also seems to be one of the parties that, you know, according to what we're told, President Peter Chanda was here as well. We were told that NCP was one of the parties that preferably was chosen to be, you know, the special purpose vehicle. Correct.
That one I agree. But what I don't subscribe to is the lie by Chanda now that it was chosen by Edgar Lungu. That's total nonsense. Okay? Edgar Lungu, I think those of you who knew Edgar Lungu was a very organized, honest and transparent person.
You mentioned that you were very close to President Lungu. Paint a picture for us. How close were you with the late president? Thank
you very much. I started working with President Edgar Lungu in 2014. Okay? And I am the one who brought Peter Chanda, Dan Pule, and Robert Mwanza to ECL, who introduced them to ECL and the structures. This can be attested to by the former defense minister incarcerated, who is incarcerated, Honorable Davis Chama, as well as the current Father Walia, who is now yes. In fact, I was working under Father Walia. Each time Edgar Lungu wanted to send me or to give me an assignment, he always did that through Father Walia. But of course, at night, I would go to State House. Whenever he had visitors, he would invite me. And later on, when Chanda came in 2016, and Professor Dan Pule, okay, and Robert Mwanza. You can bring Robert Mwanza, I'll come and tell you. So it was at that time now we started moving together. Okay? So nearly every time, there is no, wherever I went to commission the project, unless I didn't want, okay? I was always there, and I always sat in front. There is no rally that Edgar Lungu spoke, okay? Where Edgar Lungu spoke, there's no rally where he spoke, where I did not speak. I always spoke there. Of course, even Chanda, Professor Puri and others, it was a must. Each time we had visitors, name it, whichever president that came from Zambia, I always received a VVIP invitation, okay, from State House. ZUMANI, when he was being appointed, he found me there, and he became funny when he started seeing me there, until I'm sure somebody told him that, no, you are making a very big mistake. That's now when he became, within the shortest possible time, that's when he became nice and he started calling me even to his office and things like that. So he found me there and he left me there after I made Edgar Lungu lose.
Why should you make it look like it's only Chris ZUMANI who made President
what was his
lose the 2020 election, or as the PF lose the election?
What was his role? Okay, his role was very clear.
But you're also close to President Lungu. Why didn't you hint to say, okay, President, I think on these things, there are things that, yes, we are doing well as a party, or these other things I think we are not going to do better and whatnot. Did you?
The roles were very, very different. Okay, if you are, I mean, if you are an economic advisor, you know, we don't work in confusion. Yes, we would talk even about life in general, you know, we would be chatting, okay, up to the time he died. In fact, so, but then, when it comes to planning of the elections and everything, that was the role of ZUMANI and other stakeholders. He was brought purely to come and do that. But what he did do, he messed up, just like the way he has messed up Tonse. He's the one who has created that. And mark my word, I want you to listen to this, and you Zambians who are watching me. Munduwire is playing with fire. Very soon, you come and call me. Crown TV.
Call you
he's going to mess up. He's going to mess up Munduwire very soon. Okay.
So you mean Doc Chris ZUMANI is going to mess up Munduwire?
Of course, no doubt about that.
Because in what way?
He's not a straight person, and he doesn't know politics. Okay. His theory doesn't work.
I wish he was here to defend himself, because when we had him yesterday,
well,
he said he presented a report to President Lungu in 2021 and said, Mr. President, even if we are going into this election, we're going to lose, because we have, you know, prioritized hooliganism, you know, this Kadaism, and of course these are things that are going to make us lose the election.
He was lying to you, sir. Okay, what was his role? You see, you are working for Crown TV. If you Crown TV with all the assets and a lot of money, okay, of course, I mean, any business entity like Crown TV, they survive on that. When it comes to a political, we talk of human resource, okay, the card and the people. When I talk about card, I don't mean those who throw stones, who insult and do what and what, okay. If he can make this man lose, he could make that man lose. This guy should not even be brought on the table unless he repents and begins to listen. Okay. So he was lying to you. Because why was the reason then Edgar Lungu hired him? He hired him. Of course, Edgar Lungu hired him. In fact, it's not Edgar Lungu even. He was brought by Davis Mwilandi team. Again, doesn't that give you goosebumps? Okay? Look at the caliber of leaders who brought ZUMANI. Do they appear like they are a kind that can bring a credible person who could have helped Lungu?
Away from ZUMANI.
The answer is no. So do not listen to ZUMANI. As Crown TV, you'll be degrading yourselves to listen to people like ZUMANI. ZUMANI doesn't tell us the truth. Okay, he keeps on flip-flopping, if that's good English.
Let's look at, you know, the next aspect, which is your positioning or as a faction of Tonse. How are you positioning yourself as the real one when tides seem to have shifted the other way?
The other way, like going where?
We have about, let's say, maybe two factions when you talk of Tonse as alliances. Now, how do you convince, you know, the electorate to say yours
we don't have,
the real one?
Listen, we don't have Tonse factions. There is only one Tonse.
Which is?
The one for ZUMANI, that is a Bill 7 alliance. Okay. Now, to help you understand, the Zambian people, Mr. Alfred, they know where Tonse and PF is. Okay? They know. They have no problem with that.
Do you have the documents for the Tonse as an alliance?
Alliance, Tonse does not need to have an alliance. An alliance does not need to have what? To have those documents. But the people of Zambia, they don't have a problem with that. Do you remember what happened? You are forgetting what happened in Chawama just recently. Okay? We won. And that was a very important seat to Haka Indechrem and UPND. They did everything. Because that by-election was in the backyard of State House. You saw even the statements from both UPND and its proxies. Okay? What did Nevas Mumba say? When he entered Chawama, he said, Mwebena Chawama, these elections are telling over the general elections. Whoever is going to win in Chawama, they are going to form government. They are the ones who will be in government. So please, okay. And I could not agree more with Nevas Mumba. I don't agree with Nevas Mumba, people like ZUMANI, Nevas Mumba and others. But on that one, on that score, I agreed more with him. And you know when he told the Zambians people like that, the people of Chawama, you know when UPND told the people of Chawama that the results of Chawama by-election mirrors the general elections, the people were resolved. They said no to the vote buying. They said no to the meal which were being distributed, and the meat and the money which was being distributed by a named political party, and voted for the Tonse Alliance. And led by Given Lubinda, myself, Chimbaka Mbwili, Mao Sampa, Honorable Mao Sampa, okay, and other credible leaders.
You used FDD as a vehicle to win Chawama, but
yes.
Now the FDD's Chifumu Banda is the vice president of the Munduwile faction of Tonse. Has your special purpose vehicle been hijacked by your rivals?
Correct. It is hijacked, but we are not worried. Because we never told ourselves that even in the general elections we are going to use the FDD. No. Okay? That was going to be suicide, political suicide. Remember, you are talking to veteran politicians. Okay? So, we know what we are doing. We never said, at no point, it was Manuozi trying to force us to take that route. But we are vindicated. Okay? When Chifumu Banda did what he did. So we are not worried. Whichever special purpose vehicle Tonse is going to pick, that is the one the Zambian people will go with. Remember last time we were using Peter Chanda, we even won the Petauke by-election. Okay? And we were coming second. In fact, we know that votes. So which
Tonse won the Chawama by-election? Is it from your faction or the
okay, can I ask you a question? Did you see ZUMANI there? Did you see Dan Pule there? Did you see Munduwile there? Did you see Davis Mwila there? They were not there. Okay? They picked Kasama. And there is a reason why they picked Kasama. Because that's where Brian Munduwile hails from. And that's where he worked as a deputy minister. And they were very sure that they were going to win and we were going to lose. So that after losing Chawama, they were going to say, oh, Lubinda is a failure. Okay? Forget about him. But God, by God's grace, we won by a very big margin. And they lost. And you know what was happening? Where they have MPs, like George Chisanga in Lukasha, that's where they received almost horrible votes. That is an indictment.
President.
Okay. Because their alliance, okay, and the people are right to call it a Bill 7 alliance. Okay.
Why is this so? Where is this starting from?
Because look.
What are we missing? If you
what you are missing, I'm very shocked that an intelligent person like you can miss that.
For the many Zambians, they need to know.
No, Zambians they know, because even this I got it from who? The Zambians.
Let's hear it from you then.
Yes, because that's where the people voted for Bill 7. The people betrayed Zambians for few pieces of silver. Who was the leader of business in parliament? Your guess is as good as mine. Okay? Do you know that since Lubinda became president of PF, are you aware that those MPs, they don't support him in any way? Even their contributions, they keep it among themselves. That is the one they use with Mundubira, and among themselves basically. Lubinda for all these years, if there is a by-election, all the by-elections that we have participated in, Chawama, Kawambwa, Pambashe, Lumezi, Petauke, even in those for what by-elections, he has to use his money or go and scrounge around. But them, their contributions, yama 5,000 kwacha. But kwata even an accountant amongst themselves. And these are the people who voted for Bill 7. Okay? Their team voted for Bill 7. They are very mischievous. Okay?
Yeah.
And they are the people who are even trying to create structures. Okay? Away from PF, using PF structures. Okay? That's how confused these fellas are.
Mr. President, the Tonse MP, Wright Musoma in Chawama, was spotted praising the UPND government. Does the Tonse Alliance or your alliance have any actual grip or disciplinary control over the members it sends to Parliament?
Well, we have known Honorable Nundwe. He's a very wonderful guy, but he can be excited at times.
So that was an excitement?
It was an excitement. Not that he has crossed or whatever. He's very much with us. Okay? Of course, what he said was very unfortunate because the people sacrificed for him to win. You know, our Royal Highnesses across the country, a lot of stakeholders, they were calling us, please make sure you win this. There are even certain people that I could not even mention, even UPND. UPND were voting with us, in case you don't know. They are saying, please, we are with us. We are with you. UPND cadres. Okay? So for Nundwe to say what he said, that was very unfortunate. And I pray that very soon he's going to apologize and realign himself, because his victory came at the pain of a lot of people. You know? A lot of people. So that was very unfortunate, but I don't want to I get it.
Mr. President, let's quickly maybe look at ZRP, your party, and of course you are the party president. Yet you seem to be caught in this given Lubinda's PF faction drama, if I may call it. Now, you as a president, okay, of ZRP, and also maybe looking at the vision, how are you trying to balance and of course look at your special, or your party as a special purpose vehicle itself, or is it just to look at to keep the Lubinda faction relevant? Why are you associating yourself with
it's not I think
Lubinda's
it's
peer faction?
Point of correction, it's not the Lubinda's faction, it's the Tonse. That is the Tonse that Edgar Lungu left. If I may ask you, who appointed given Lubinda's vice president to Edgar Lungu? It's Edgar Lungu. Okay? Did Edgar Lungu appoint Munduri as his vice president, or Makebi Zulu, or Chimbaka Mbwili, or Zumani? No. When we lost elections, when PF lost the elections in 2021, Edgar Lungu went with a legion of his former ministers, PSs and whatever, to go and convince Lubinda to be the one. And there is a reason why. Okay? Remember Lubinda and Edgar Lungu, they were in UPND together. They have come a long way. Let no one fool you. You know, Lubinda is a man of few words. He's one person who doesn't talk about what he has done, about his credentials and things like that. But I think I feel duty bound to talk about him. So Edgar Lungu knew Lubinda very well. They knew each other very well. Okay? Of course, Edgar Lungu left UPND much earlier. Then Wallace Lubinda left when when UPND became tribal. That's when he left. And they all joined the great leader Michael Sata in Tonse and helped Tonse, in PF, and helped PF win. Okay? So he knew very well. When he wanted, I keep on saying this, when Edgar Lungu, as intelligent and powerful as he was, when he wanted a lawyer to help him with his cases for the family and whatever, we know who he picked. Okay? And when he wanted, of course, someone to help him oversee business in parliament, he picked Brian Mundubile. But Mundubile kept on failing Edgar Lungu. Okay? In Bill 10, Mundubile failed to deliver. Bill 7 again, he has disappointed with Edgar Lungu in the coffin. Okay? But when Edgar Lungu wanted somebody to deputize him and to run the party after retirement, he went to Lubinda. Even when he came back to active politics, he didn't drop Lubinda. He said, I've come back, but you're going to be my assistant or deputy or my vice president. He never changed that position up to the time he died. In fact, even a few days before he died, when Sean Tembo and indeed one ZUMANI started peddling lies all over about Freddie, maybe about Given Wind and all of us, the late president came out, penned his position on his official Facebook page. He even communicated with the Daily Nation. You can contact Daily Nation, the biggest private newspaper in Zambia. They will tell you that. He also communicated to people like Brebna Changala's organization. They are aware. What he said, my acting president is Given Lubinda, both in Tonse and in PF. Okay? He communicated that. So, how can today ZUMANI and indeed others come and tell the nation that, no, we are the real Tonse? Because they even started calling themselves, what are they calling? ECO, whatever Tonse.
ECO movement.
And need I also mention something to you and the nation here? It was at even that juncture that ZUMANI was dropped by ECL. Let him deny. It is in black and white.
Let's look at the Tonse Alliance General Congress. When is it happening? Or is the leadership of this alliance a closed arrangement between a few individuals?
Look, Tonse, like I said, when we formed Tonse, we were very clear. Okay? We said we don't want to go through the drama that we went through at our age and our level whilst we were in UKA. This time we said the the biggest party, which happens to PF, will automatically become the anchor party. And the president of PF is the Tonse chairperson and consequently the presidential candidate. So we have no problem with that. Okay? So what we are waiting for is when PF are done with the convention, okay? If they retain President Given Lubinda, is the one who's going to be our presidential candidate. If they choose someone else, again, that's the way to go. But let me also try to remind you, having said that, you see, Tonse was a creation of the Zambian people, our royal highnesses, the church such as the Catholic, the UCZ, the Pentecostal, and everyone. You remember very well, each time you invited me on an interview here, like we are having here, what were the cry of the Zambian people? Please come together and choose one person. Okay. And people like Freddie Membe helped when he came out and said, but if the truth has to be said, there is no alliance that can make it if they don't recognize or they don't recognize the biggest party as the anchor party. Okay? UPND. Them, they were even very clear. They even refused to call it any other name. They just said our alliance shall be called UPND Alliance.
Mr. President, when is the Tonse Alliance General Congress happening?
We are not going to have a General Congress in Tonse. I have told you. Okay? As soon as PF gives us a leader, okay, we will just automatically endorse him as our presidential candidate and go into the elections. That's what we are waiting for. And we are hoping that this month end, before February month end, PF is going to give us a leader.
If the courts eventually rule that Robert Chavinga is the legitimate leader of the Patriotic Front, what happens to your alliance? Does that mean that the Tonse Alliance collapses and the moment given Luminda loses his legal standing?
As intelligent as you are, as intelligent as you are, the way I know you, do you expect me to save Wanda Chavinga? Do you expect President Mawere, President Mwanza, President Piri, even President Luminda himself, and the Central Committee, our members, to save Wanda Chavinga? As
it stands, Chavinga boasts that he is the rightful owner of the
You must
now.
be kidding us. He can go with the papers if he wants. We have got no problem with that. Okay? To us, PF is not the papers. This is why we are saying if they keep on holding on to those papers, okay? Let me not even speak as PF, but on behalf of Tonse, if they keep on doing that to PF, we are willing to give them a special purpose vehicle. And when I say we are willing, I don't mean ZRP.
Mr. President.
Because the Tonse has got more than 13, the Tonse led by President Givina Luvinda, if you like, has got more than 13 political parties and 16 organizations. And we are going to pick one. And we don't want to announce now because we don't want what happened to Chanda to happen now. Remember, Chanda was bought and we're in trouble now.
Mr. President, okay? I've asked you if you have the rightful papers for the Tonse Alliance, and you claimed papers, well, they're not a thing that you're holding on. I've asked you again, do you have the papers, or maybe what happens if of course, Chavinga takes over the court's rule in favor of Robert Chavinga, and you are saying still he can have the papers? Then where are you standing?
Listen, I'm not supporting Chavinga having the papers for
the Patriotic Front.
PF. No. I'm just saying if he wants, he can have. Because he has been having the papers, by the way, for all this long. And what has happened to PF? It is still intact.
How so?
Okay? Very intact. How so? Remember, we have been winning the by-elections. You are forgetting that we won a very big by-election in Chawama at the doorsteps of State House, which is at the doorsteps of State House, next to State House. We beat UPND and Akainde Ichilema big time. And even in August, we are going to beat him. Now, if they don't give back PF the papers, that's where I said we are going to give them a special purpose vehicle from our political parties, even those that are not in Tonse. We are going to pick. We are not going to mention to the Zambian people, because remember when we picked NCP, what has the NCP done? Okay? It has compromised itself. Okay? So this time we are very, very careful. And I wish to advise the Zambian people that do not worry about the special purpose vehicle. Remain intact. support your leadership. You, especially you PF, do not allow anyone to take people from your structures. When they come with money, just pocket. I know they are using money, but what you shouldn't forget that these are Bill 70 people. Okay? They are making a lot of money out there, which they will come and try to buy you with. Please remain strong. Remember where you are coming from. You have got a philosophy from the great leader, Michael Sata, which says, don't kubeba. So ngavaisa, you people from in southern province, western province, Lusaka, Luapula, northern Muchinga, Copper Belt, eastern, and indeed all Zambia. Because they are going to come, we can't stop them. If they give you 5,000, you pay you structures, get, you even say, can we have some more? But remain the way you have remained, intact. Okay? And I must salute you, PF. You are great, you people. I cannot even find the better words in English with which to describe you. Because you have always been very steadfast and focused. Okay? I mean, we know when Honorable Mao Sampa left, okay? He came back because you didn't follow him. Honorable Kambwili left, you didn't follow him until he came back. Chavinga himself is alone. Okay? So we know that even those who have trying to break away, those who went to form the so-called Tonse, which in essence it's just a Bill 70 alliance. They are just on their own. We know they are going wherever they go. You know what they are doing? They'll go to Luapula or Chembe. They pick maybe 1 week. Flabalanda, where I come from, we say that pansa kata pavula chuelewele. There will always be somebody who is useless at every grouping. So they will pick 1 or 2, give them money, and then they go in the street to get even 5 or 10 people to say, you say that we have endorsed Musoma. I mean, people are able to see through that.
Mr. Musoma, you use the NCP in Petauke, and eventually they pulled out. You use FDD in Chawama, and they are now with Munduwile. Why does every party that partners with you as a special purpose vehicle eventually runs away?
Because Tonse, that shows you how powerful Tonse is.
If people are running away with him.
Yes, yes. Because do you think they are just running away on their own? You know what is happening to them. Haven't you seen people cannot even afford a Range Rover vehicle? They are driving a Range Rover. Okay? I mean, no matter how rich you are, sir, let's be reasonable. I mean, let's be serious. Who can afford to be giving people, even inviting people in hundreds and give them 5,000, accommodate them here in Lusaka? Are you kidding me? Where would they get their money? Okay?
Why are they running away from your
because Tonse is under attack by the
who?
evil one.
By who? Who's
by
the
evil one.
Who's the evil one?
You know, your guess is as good as mine.
No.
So the evil one is pumping money. Each time we try to make headways, as in special purpose vehicle, they go around, they buy them. Okay? This is why this time we are going to use Don't Kubeba. We are not going to tell them, okay, which part we are going to use. And I wish to appeal to the Zambian people that please, we know what we are doing. We are not disrespecting you Zambians. Tatule michefi anga tuwaebati tatuwa miewe. Echo tule tina baba mwansa kabinga to hijack. Ngafemi ni wachitira hijack ya special purpose vehicle to alechita. Therefore this time tuke say tafi announce that this is a special purpose vehicle. We go in elections, we tukamulikite chechi na UPND. That's what we want to do. So just pray for us and make sure that you're right behind us.
And now that you've mentioned that, do you have a proper alternative to what the UPND administration has offered to the many Zambians out there? They're boss of CDF, the teacher recruitment, or in the civil service as well, the free education. But you seem to only look forward to unseat President Hakainde Hichilema. What are your alternatives as opposition?
Thank you very much for that question. Firstly, you know that in Tonse, we have got people worked in PF, like President Given Lubinda himself And this is why everyone, they are saying that the man that they are, the Moses that they had hoped to cross them has failed. This time they don't want to experiment. They want somebody with it, who is tried and tested, somebody with vast experience. Okay, this is why a lot of people are looking forward to Given Luwinda. Okay, and justifiably so. Now, you know what PF did. Hakainde claims to have employed 30,000 teachers, 11,000 health workers, which I question. But if I were to go by what he is saying, I question, because Hakainde Hichilema is not a person you can trust when he says something. Okay? But if I were to agree with him, who built those schools and hospitals that these people are operating from? Is it not PF and the late Edgar Lungu and the PF? Okay? And these people, did they build those hospitals and the schools and the airports and these bridges and the roads so that they could be elephants? No. I mean white elephants. No. They did not build the schools and hospitals so that they could be white elephants. They could abandon them and leave them like that. They knew that they cannot employ before they build the structures in which these people are supposed to operate from. Okay. So the Zambian people, they know what we are capable of. Okay. They know that we are going to build more schools, more universities, in fact more stadium. Okay. Football pitches, they are coming. Ayama roads, look. But if you have no push and street roads, everywhere you go, even where Hakainde is living, it's a tarmac which was done by PF. But if you are in everywhere. But we are going to continue with that. We are going to bring agricultural revolution. We are going to make Zambia the bread basket of Africa. Okay? Make no mistake about that. Okay? Because we have got a credible leadership, thinkers. People are tried and tested. These are the people that we have, okay, in Tonse. And this is why even UPN and Hakainde Hichilema is doing everything possible to decimate Tonse, but he's not going to manage. I can tell you that. Okay? He is not going to manage.
Give us, 3 concrete policies that you feel Tonse is going to implement on day 1. Just 3.
Immediately when we get into office, okay, we are going to begin agricultural revolution. We will start even planting fruit trees, millions of fruit trees in Zambia. There is no reason why we should be buying even fruits like oranges, lemons expensively. It doesn't make sense. We have got arable land, with good soils and the proper rainfall patterns. But we are buying how much? Because personally, for my family of 5, I spend more than 500 per month on fruits. Why should that be the case? It doesn't make sense, does it? Okay? We are going to increase production of maize, even in rice. Okay? Those are some of the things that we are going to do. Then education, we are going to improve. Probably we will have to even change the curriculum to suit the current prevailing trends.
You are not satisfied with the current education curriculum that we have now?
Speaking for myself and ZRP, the answer is yes. It's a big yes.
Okay.
Because you cannot, how many engineers do we have? Do they even solve even a single problem? Zambia, even after 65 years old, cannot manufacture even a drone. Okay? A drone. Everything has to come to China.
Aside from...
If Rwanda, they are able to manufacture drones, what about a great nation like Zambia?
Doesn't
that pain you? So, for the first time, some of these things will be happening. We are even referring to even manufacture a razor blade. Does that excite you? And then somebody is going everywhere saying, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. Greatest in what? In talking. Eh? How is the economy doing? My brother, we are even going to have to recall certain mines. Okay? How is copper doing? By now, we don't need to be borrowing or even extend the paying period for debts. We don't need to do that. Mark my word. Okay? All we need is just to start getting first and foremost, getting the right tax from these mine owners, and we can easily pay the debts. How much do these mines make per year?
Mr. President, quickly, let's look at the electoral roadmap as well as ECZ. So the Electoral Commission of Zambia has proposed amendments to the Electoral Process Act of 2016. They are moving forward proportional representation as well as new delimitation. In this case, we want to find out what is Tonse's official position on these amendments. Are they a tool for democracy or dictatorship?
I think the answer is known.
What is the answer, Mr. President?
The answer is that there are two for dictatorship, and those are aimed at helping Hakainde Hichilema and UPND remain in power.
In what ways?
Okay. Why should they propose them now? I mean, the Americans say that if it's not broken, don't fix it. Okay, some of these proposals, give me one of the proposals, for instance, and let me begin with that.
Let's talk about this delimitation. You're not happy with the delimitation. You're not happy that the mixed member proportional representation should be there. You're not happy with that.
Okay, let me maybe begin with the mixed member proportion. What are they trying to achieve through that? Have they told you what they're trying to achieve by introducing that electoral process? Amendment process. Okay? I think from what I've heard, they want to increase the number of women participation and youths. But that's vague. Okay? That is vague. When Hakainde Hichilema fired Gary Nkombo, who did he replace Gary Nkombo with? Was it a lady or a youth? He didn't. He replaced it with an adult male. Does that show a person who is very serious about what he's talking about? The answer is as good is no. Okay? So it doesn't mean what he says. Okay? On face value, it appears like this is the guy who wants the women and things like that. It has to begin from his party, his appointments. Okay? If he wanted youths, how many youths has he appointed as cabinet ministers? Show me a youth. Okay? Nani. If you're not mistaken, nani. Fewer women's. And Zambia, and he can cheat and fool Zambians that he wants more women when he's failing to do that. Okay? There are a lot of avenues through which he can bring a lot of women on board. Okay? You saw ECL. He appointed the first Chief Justice female, the first Vice President female, okay? The first IG of police female, okay? So even when he talked about having a heart for women and youths, people could say, yes, this is very true.
Another thing,
Mr.
President,
President, and UPND.
ECZ is also demanding that alliances should be registered. Okay, so just we need to move forward. ECZ is demanding that alliances should be registered with Registrar of Societies. Why haven't you registered? As well as is this because you know that if you try to register Tonse Alliance, the other faction will sue you for the name?
Not that. What is in the name, by the way? Okay? There is no virtue in the name.
Why haven't you registered?
Okay, if we want, we can pick another name and register. But why should we be playing in the hands of Hakainde Hichilema? Why should he bring up those things 1 foot in the elections? Okay? What is so special about registering? And is that the role of ECZ, the Electoral Commission of Zambia? Is that their role? No. What is their role? Is well articulated. Is to manage elections. not to bring problem, to cause problem. What Mwangala Zaloms and the Kasalo should be taught is that they shouldn't play with fire. Okay? They shouldn't allow themselves to be the one who are going to trigger, okay, problem. If blood is shed as a result of those things that they are trying to implement or to bring about in order to help Hakainde and UPND, they will be in trouble. History will never remember them favorably. They should understand that.
Mr. President,
okay,
for the many
so
Zambians.
Some of those we don't need them. They are not making sense. Okay? What mischief are they trying to create? We have taught them, for instance, as Tonse. We are not going to use it. Tonse, we don't need even to register as Tonse. Besides that, it's late. When we tried, I will tell you something. Before actually who can know these organizations started registering, I wanted to register what we were calling the People's Movement. We went to Register of Societies. They refused. Those were even vetted by both the OP, the police, and whatever. I've got proof for that. But when we took them for registration, after even being cleared, Register of Society refused. And we saw even the changes at the summit of Register of Society. What has changed now? They want to be monitoring us. Okay? It's not making sense. Let them just prepare to go. Come August, Hakainde should go to Wengwa or to the farm. Okay?
If you
we don't need him. The Zambian people don't need him. He has failed. There's nothing that he has done. He keeps on saying things that he cannot even... They're not making sense. If he has performed, there's no need for them to even doing those underhand methods.
Cite at least maybe 3 areas that you feel they have underperformed.
Everywhere. What do you mean? These people are even failing to just distribute the farming inputs on time. Hakainde's government is one government that has been failing even in the basics, like I'm saying. Okay? If I may ask you yourself, where have they performed? Extending the debt, ukuya baba sungu kwebati, ukweba mazambians ukwebati, debt, instead of us start paying, lekeni for spares to idipila, bambiaba abe shukuru beso bakese idipila. Is that an achievement? Can that be an achievement? You must be kidding me, sir.
How best do you think this was going to be handled?
Hallelujah! I like people. This is why I like you, Mr. Alfred. How best? Hakainde shouldn't have given those mine owners the tax holidays. Okay. He should have been collecting the proper tax and he was going to pay the debt on time or in full. Not what he has done. What has he achieved? Giving Abasungu, we give them our mines. Then you tell them that, no, stop paying tax. You Zambians, my people are the one who should be paying tax. Do you know what we say in Chipemba, where I come from? Umuchisha ni kwati nimbo ishi okufokoku palamine iPhone na kukulu. You know what the dogs does?
What does that mean?
If you and I, your face or somewhere, you have somewhere where it is itching, you cannot scratch using these nails which are on the leg. You have to use your... But the dog is a different matter. The dog uses the feet to scratch. Okay? So, that's what Hakainde should have done. That's not an achievement. That is failure. Okay?
But this debt was caused by a leader that was your comrade. He used to call you
there is no leader.
You were close.
Listen, Mr. Alfred, please. There is no country and leader who doesn't borrow. Okay? The borrow which is wrong is the one which Hakainde Hichilema has been doing. Because all the money that he has borrowed, show me what he has done. Okay? Edgar Lungu borrowed even to construct a road which passed through Hakainde Hichilema's community house. He built schools, he built universities, he built airports, he built bridges. Do you know how much Kazungula has been raking in?
Mr. President, let's quickly look at one thing that I want you to put on record. If you fail to register by the deadline as a Tonse, will you run as ZRP yourself, or will you follow the Munduwile model and hide under another party's umbrella?
We are Tonse, and we are going to pick, if PF is given back the papers, we are going to go with PF. No doubt about that. If PF, yes, there is hope. You know, God does not fail us unless otherwise. But if that doesn't happen, we are going to pick a special purpose vehicle.
Okay.
I don't want to concern myself with the machinations and cheap maneuvers by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. But they should be warned that they should tread carefully, because elections always cause chaos, and the chaos leads to fatality. Okay. You know, a lot of people perish, blood is shed, there's damage to property. Zambia, we are a very peaceful country. We don't want to, you can't even, if you are reasonable, you can't even imagine a thing like that.
Mr. President, people want to engage with you, and of course we should be allowing a few phone calls so that we get to hear what the people are saying. And of course, tonight on Spotlight, we do have Mr. Wright Musoma. He is a president for Zambia Republican Party, ZRP, and member of the Tonse Alliance. And we're looking at ZRP, PF Tonse, and the road to 13th August. The phone line is officially open, and we want to engage with you. Good afternoon, good evening rather. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm Raphael Lungu. I'm calling you within Lusaka.
Mr. Raphael, yes, we do have Mr. Musoma in the studio.
Mr. Musoma, how are you?
We could be okay, sir, and yourself?
I'm good. I've just got I think 2 or 3 issues that I want to raise. The first one, when you said the UPND has not done anything, there's nothing that you can point at. I think in your debate you're not being fair. As national leaders like you, let us be objective, okay? Where somebody has done something good, let us point at it. Where somebody has failed, let us condemn it, okay? So that our leaders become responsible. For example, I'll tell you, over the delay of paying the farmers, that is very wrong and shouldn't be acceptable. Okay, if I were in his position, I would get rid of the Minister of Agriculture and whoever is involved. However, there are also good things that these guys have done, and we must give them kudos. They've stabilized the economy. Okay, we can see new businesses coming up. Okay, we've seen the Ndola Lusaka dual carriageway, which,
as you wind up, Mr. Raphael, yes,
which PF were done here and there. Okay, now, so now my last question now is, why don't you unite, you as Tonse Alliance, and have only one person who is going to challenge Hakainde Hichilema in 2013? Otherwise, you are so disintegrated such that you're not giving me any morale.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We do appreciate Mr. Raphael. Let's accommodate another caller this evening. Good evening. Hello. To Spot.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. How are you?
Fine. Thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from Kalumbila. Matoka, yes.
Mr. Matoka.
President, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How is Kalumbila?
Kalumbila is good.
Sure.
You are saying people at ground, these people, they don't want HH. The president, you are just lying. Here in Kalumbila, people, they want HH. So much. What you are saying there, you are just telling us the lies. I can ask you, PF, they were in the party. Why didn't they were in the what? They were there. They were there. People voted for PF. Chinchese Pavachire, if he very Chusha wanted to Vale Pera, in the Ramesha Kovatama retirees. They were there, PF people. Now today you are saying, you are championing to say, PF they did this and this.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Mr. Matoko. We do appreciate for your call. Let's accommodate Mr. Monga in Livingston. Good evening, Ms. Monga. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you speak up, Mr. Monga?
Yes, please. I think, you know, it's being unlucky to have presidents that are blind, that cannot see what is happening. We have seen a lot of development during these 5 years. We have seen a lot of development.
Okay.
And we have peace that we have never experienced. So for that president to say the current government has done nothing, her kind has done nothing, I think he is not honest. How can we trust such a president who cannot see?
Thank you so much, Mr. Monga. We do appreciate.
Thank you.
No, I'll give you a chance to respond. We should be picking 2 more calls and then we allow the president to respond. Good evening. Hello? Okay, we seem not to communicate there. Good evening. You're through to Spotlight. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello?
Hello, you're through to Spotlight. Your name?
Hello?
Your name?
Hello?
Okay. Good evening. You're through to Spotlight. Hello? Ensure that you reduce the volume on your TV when you are calling us. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Lides calling from Livala South.
Lides in Livala South, yes.
Yes. So about the program where the president is saying that people want given Luvinda, that's a lie. People want Brand Mundubile. That's a person we want and not Luvinda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lides, for that. Let me just accommodate 1 more call and then we give you a chance to respond. Good evening. You're through to Spotlight.
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Your name?
My name's Christopher Pondash. I'm calling from Mufrera.
Mr. Christopher, yes, your quick
Good morning, the ZRP president.
Good evening, sir. How are
Let's
you?
see. Good evening. I'm sorry, we are using the morning. Good evening. I'm already sleeping now. I just wake up because of this program. Okay, my take on this one is, you see, the president, when you are a leader, you come in the public and start criticizing your friends. I don't know if your colleagues, ZUMANI, you criticize the Brian Mundubile openly. I think that is not leadership. If you are there to unite people and the people are saying you should actually come together and unite. I think such kind of discourse should not become it's my advice, you can take it or leave it. It's not good to bring it in the public domain. Because if you've seen Mr. Mundubile, although he has gone out from the PF, I don't think he gets and say that one is level-headed. So my advice to you, sir, is please don't cascade your friends and don't say HH hasn't done anything. We've seen what HH has done.
Okay.
And we know what PF did. And now they failed to pay the debt. We know all those things.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chris. We do appreciate for your contribution. Mr. President, I know for sure we do have a lot of people that are calling us and they would want to engage with you. But from what we've picked so far, your quick reaction.
Yeah, I think the problem that I have with some of these people is they are saying we saw what he has done and they cannot point at one. Okay? These are UPND cadres who have got a problem. The fact that they have got a problem, because if they ask me, what did Edgar Lungu do? I'll tell them.
You're going to paint them as UPND cadres, not just ordinary citizens or Zambian citizens?
No. We can tell, we know each other. You know what I'm trying to say? The truth of the matter, I'll repeat myself, Hakainde has failed. And is the worst president Zambia has ever had. Okay? That debt they are talking about, to begin with, first let me talk about the road to the road that man mentioned, the Kabwe, the Ndola, whatever. That is a fraud to me. How can you have NAPSA and workers' compensation pay for the road, and then you ask the contractor to start collecting tolls? Do we know the gravity of that road? That is the busiest road in Zambia, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very busy economic road. Okay? You go and commit the country to such a careless, very, very careless deal. Okay? And you want to say Hakainde has done it by his beginning. Don't you think we would have even better of giving ZNS via Pishangu Finangu Bachita grade to repitamo than committing a country carelessly to such a huge cost for 25 years? You and I will be paying for a road which we could have constructed. Why didn't Hakainde ask NAPSA and workers' compensation to pay the contractor, and then we start paying NAPSA, which are our companies. Okay? Why didn't you do that? That is a very, very horrible deal, for which I believe he's going to answer. Okay? He's going to answer over that one. Zambians are not happy with that, and that's not an achievement.
Okay.
Okay? Coming to the economy is biting. Which economy has it stabilized? Please, Mulebako, very serious. Okay? Which economy has it stabilized? Towards the elections, the inflation rate was 2 digits, if not 3, knowing the way these guys are. Okay? Then just a few days before the elections, the inflation rate drops to single digit, and you start celebrating. The kwacha was almost 30 kwacha to if not more than 30 kwacha to a US dollar. And you see it coming to 20 kwacha before the elections. You want to celebrate. Okay? Why didn't he do that all along? What about load shedding? We told you that Hakainde was exporting power and electricity to neighboring countries. You refused. You could not listen to us. Until those countries themselves, they started praising him publicly. That's when you came to believe that what we were saying. Okay? So today we have got load shedding is vanished. You think that is that is by accident? Come on, don't insult the Zambians.
Mr. President,
okay?
I know for sure time.
This man has failed. That is the truth. That's why you are seeing even ECZ doing all those coming up with amendments, useless amendments, in my view. Okay? Why bring them now? Okay? So please, Zambians, allow us to work for you. I beg you.
I know for sure we've covered the cracks in the alliance, the legal hurdles ahead. But there's this talk of one candidate proposal for the entire opposition. Given the friction between, Tonse, the Munduwila, the Giveluwinda, the Uka, is there a chance that we are going to see a single candidate, or is this a realistic goal or a political fantasy?
You know what you are going to see? Let me give people, the Zambian people, hope. Okay? Tonse is going to give you, when PF is done with the convention, we are going to give you one single candidate. I know there are those who are sponsored, those who are greedy, who don't want to work. The Zambian people have no problem with them. Look, after the faction, I know this man was saying, I'm not supposed to talk about, but how can I, when the questions are coming? Because I have to respond as the questions come. Okay? After Munduwila and ZUMANI did what they did, what are people still saying? They are saying that, please, we want a leader. So meaning, By simple interpretation, I know this is going to cost me friendship. The Zambian people are still waiting for a leader to come, and that leader should come from Tonse. Doesn't that underscore what I was telling you, that the Tonse people are looking at is the given Luwinda, Chimba Kambwili, Wright Musoma, Mao Sampa, Jini Kapata, Professor, and all the Zambians are leading. Not those Bill 7 Alliance.
Mr. Musoma, we have seen the factions, the court cases, the registration hurdles. The Zambian people are tired of political drama. They want solutions, by the way. And you have 1 minute. Why should anyone trust the Luwinda-led Tonse Alliance with their vote in August 2026?
It's a genuine one. It was the one which Lungu left. No one doubts that Luwinda was left to act, and was the one who was appointed by Edgar Lungu. Others, they gave them different positions, such as lawyer, leader of business, and you know what they did. Okay, I'll leave that to you Zambians. So the genuine leadership is where you see Luwinda, Chimba Kambwili, myself, Mao Sampa, Jini Kapata, Professor Nkanduluo, and the list is endless. Okay, that is the genuine one, and this is the one people should go with.
Indeed.
The rest forget. Those are just trying to confuse you. But I'm happy with you Zambians, because you're able to see. Like, I mean, you are able to see. Even by the way you vote, wherever we go. Okay? Look, there are so many political parties.
Okay.
There are even in hundreds. But people just vote for 2.
Okay.
They're given within the Tonse Alliance and the UPND. So that's the way to be, even in August, during the general elections. People are just going to be voting for given within the Tonse Alliance, and then a few for UPND. And come August, we are going to form government.
My guest tonight has been Wright Musoma, the president and for Zambia Republican Party and a member of the Tonse Alliance. And indeed, a house divided cannot stand, but in Zambian politics, sometimes the smallest fragments make the most noise. We'll see where the dust settles at the Registrar of Societies. My name is Alfred Chimba. From me and the entire production team is good night, and enjoy the rest of your evening to exactly 20 hours. Good night.
Good night.